how's it going? It's that nerd Ryan here. Welcome to this Friday video, which I am really excited to talk about. We are at what I've been told is peak zombies. And from what I can see so far, is peak zombies. And that is Black Ops 3. Now, I know I skipped Advanced Warfare. That is probably going to be the next, well, 2 videos from now, because we're going to do Zombie Chronicles next. We're going to do that separate. But Advanced Warfare will be the next game that we talk about. And that is because I got Black Ops 3 before I got Advanced Warfare, because PlayStation had it for free a few years ago, which, as of right now, Cold War is free on PlayStation, so if you have a PlayStation, go get Cold War. I played it a little bit, and yeah. So we also have another announcement at the end of this video, so make sure that you stay tuned for that, because it's kind of to do with this series, kind of not, but yeah. So anyways, let's get into talking about the maps. So really quick, you get to play as basically, I guess the best way to say it is 8 different characters. Yeah, 8. I had to do the math in my head really quick. You get the Shadows of Evil crew, which is Jackie Vincent, Ray Perlman's character, the Woman of the Night, and Jeff Goldblum's character. I could not remember their names for the life of me, but they are for Shadows of Evil. They're pretty good characters. They're all right. Nothing too big. I think Jeff Goldblum's the best one in the crew. Sorry for the weird back scratch thing, but yeah. And then you get the premise cast. So you get the, as I like to call them, PC versions of Richtofen, Nikolai, Takio, and Dempsey. But they also have more deep, like, conversations and stuff like that. What else is kind of cool about this too is there is extensive lore in this. I mean, more lore than the other games. We get introduced to 2 main villains, being Dr. Monty and the Shadow Man. And that's just really, really cool that we actually now know who's giving us, like, the Pack-a-Punch and wall weapons and stuff like that. And also, who created Element 115 and the Dark Ether and everything like that. So we get to go through 6 maps, each actually tying into the arc and story of this. I will say I wanted to do this while playing Easter eggs. I also wanted to have footage for you guys, but for whatever reason, OBS is not supporting Black Ops, or my PlayStation 4 right now, and I'm trying to figure out why. I'm hoping by Zombie Chronicles we have it fixed. I have a lot of plans for Call of Duty on this channel, but I did just want to put this video out there for you guys, because I actually am excited again about this announcement at the end. I'm sorry that I'm bringing it up like that, but like, we'll talk about it. But anyways, so you get 6 maps that all tie into the same story arc and everything like that, and you actually understand the story, and there's actually end cutscenes to every Easter egg, besides the giant, but that's besides the point. But yeah, you basically have to go through, the whole arc is that you have to kill Ultimus, take their souls, and use it to make Agartha, which is supposed to be this peaceful universe that is without zombies and everything like that. So you start out on Shadows of Evil, which is our celebrity map with our celebrity cast. Basically, this place called Mork City kind of became cursed by the Shadow Man, who picked these 4 people who have just recently committed murder to free him and let him wreak havoc on the world. Yet they catch him at the end, and as they're about to turn him in Richtofen appears, takes it, says, "I'm sorry, I really need this to save my universe, bye," and leaves. So let's talk about Morgue City. Morgue City, I believe, is either based off of Chicago or Detroit. I can't remember where exactly. But it is a 4-section city, basically. To open Pack-a-Punch, you need to create, do rituals corresponding to each character. If you do it single player, you're able to do them all, but if you do it multiplayer, you're only able to do one, from what I recall. And basically you have to go to a certain area, find a certain item that corresponds with your character, then go to another area and get away from these enemies called the Keepers. I always call them Creepers. And then once you get that done, once you get it done 4 times, you open up a wall underground and are able to go to Pack-a-Punch. This is also basically the first step of the Easter egg. We're not going to really go into details about the Easter eggs on these maps, except for Der Eisendrache. But doing that, you could get Pack-a-Punch, and then you can also unlock a specialist item, being the sword. There's so much to do on this map. So many different enemy types, so many different stuffs. And that's when I want to talk about Gobblegums. Gobblegums are the microtransaction of Call of Duty Black Ops 3 Zombies, which is the first time we've had microtransactions in Zombies, at least in Treyarch Zombies. Could have happened in Advanced Warfare, I just don't know yet. But it comes with a positive and a negative. So you can get Gobblegums for free through obtaining Liquid Divinium just by doing oddball stuff in the map, or average stuff in the map, like opening doors, buying wall buys, opening the mystery box, Pack-a-Punching, stuff like that. Or you can pay 99 cents to get enough Liquid Divinium to buy a few Gobblegums. These Gobblegums are actually very helpful, though. The ones that you can use with Liquid Divinium are extremely helpful. Basically, there's some where you can open up the entire map. You can summon fire sales or power-ups or even perks. Perkaholic is great. I've only ever gotten that once because I don't pay for my stuff unless it's like extra money from like extending my PlayStation subscription. But that's about it. The Gobblegums are very, very helpful. So that, and then we have the enemy types. So you have your standard zombie, obviously. Every 5 rounds you get creatures that come out. There's like these flying bees. I forgot what they're technically called. But they're like fireflies that you have to shoot down at the first, at either level 5 or 6, or round 5 or 6. And then you get the meatballs 5 rounds later, or I think they're called horror elementals, something like that, where they're just giant reskins of the destroyer droids from Black Ops 3 campaign. They roll really fast, and you have to hit them before they hit you and explode. And then at round 8, or while you're trying to do the rituals, there's a thing called a Margwa, which has 3 heads with glowing mouths that you have to shoot. All 3 heads to kill it. It's very Lovecraftian, very scary, and not only scary looking, but it's very intimidating to fight. There's been so many times I've been trying to kill this thing, and it's the reason why I go down and lose the game, just because it's so scary. With that, you get the Apothecan's Servant as the wonder weapon, and that creates a black hole that kills zombies. It's very cool. You also get to start using shields like in Black Ops 2, which is just very helpful and very great. Shadows of Evil is very fun, but it's not my favorite map on this, so let's move on to the Giant. The Giant, story-wise, is it reintroduces Primus, and they kill Ultimus Richtofen. Primus Richtofen kills Ultimus Richtofen, and this is their first time reuniting. It's in a different timeline. They don't know really how they got there. but they are trying to get out, so they do certain things for Maxis to pinpoint them and help them get out. Or actually, they not help them get out, but they find one of the giants from Origins to help get them out. I'm sorry. We just don't see that, but we see that in the next map. At that, the giant is literally Darius. It's the same map layout, just with a different skin, and just some extra throw-ins there. I mean, obviously Hellhounds are back as the boss. Wonder Weapon is again the Wonder Wolf, but there is a added Easter egg. So obviously the first Easter egg is the fly trap where you basically play hide and seek, and then the second one is basically throwing monkey bombs into the generators, or into the teleporters that you have to turn on, and then hitting a button so you get another extra perk. Very simple map. We've already talked about the giant. Not going to really talk about it again. I mean, Darius, so I'm not going to talk about the giant that much. It is kind of cool to see the premise versions of the characters interact with everything. But yeah, it's a simple map. I usually get to round 30 in it just by hiding in a corner or doing the catwalk strat, and that's about it. So next is Der Eisendrag. Now, Der Eisendrag is my favorite map. It's also the farthest I've gotten on an Easter egg. This also introduced actual boss fights where you have to fight a giant keeper. Again, we're not fully getting to the Easter eggs here. I just have to say it's a very simple and fun Easter egg once you know what you're doing. So this takes place in a German taken over ancient castle. Under it you have basically the MPD from Moon, and then for your Wonder Weapon you get, for bows, I know how to make the lightning bow like the back of my hand. Everything else I haven't really made yet. But yeah, and then the MPD causes you to go 0G. There's also where Pack-a-Punch can be found, is a rocket that you have to keep track of. The buildables, again, you get a shield, you get the specialist weapon, which is the Ragnarok. Also, I did forget to mention, in the giant, you get a specialist after completing the fly trap, which is the Annihilator, one-hit kill pistol. But yeah, so specialists are rechargeable by killing zombies. So the Ragnaroks basically are grav spikes that knock zombies away. The bows are just so fun to use and they're infinite damage. And then the map design is just beautiful. It is kind of bare bones when it comes to types of zombies. Obviously you get the basic zombies, you get hellhounds, but the panzers from Origins are back and harder than ever. I highly suggest not going up against the panzer unless you have a upgraded bow. But just the beauty of this map and everything is just amazing. So the story on this one is once they get the giant running, they try to catch up with Dempsey's the Ultimus Dempsey, who then gets launched into space towards the moon. So the crew travels through time and everything with the teleporter to basically bring Dempsey back down from getting shot to the moon by using the death ray that is present on there, which is probably my favorite trap ever in the thing. They then fight a keeper and find a way to get Dempsey out, and then use the key that has the Shadow Man in it to trap Ultimus Dempsey's soul. And then in that's how that map ends. And then they end up going to a different reality which is the next map that we're going to talk about. But Der Eisendrache, favorite map on this game. Next is Zetsubo no Shima. Zetsubo is the one I've played the least. It is also my least favorite. And I heard the consensus on this is basically the same. So this story is that they track down Ultimus Takeo and they have to kill him. They do so by like fighting a giant spider that also like kind of tortured and zombified Takeo, and then Takeo kills Takeo. So this one is in like a Japanese forest, which is pretty cool. The boss types on this are spiders as well as thrashers. Thrashers are annoying as can be. The spiders are creepy as can be, especially somebody that has arachnophobia. It is very hard to fight. Turning on the power is complicated on this. There are buildables like the shield and a gas mask. Not built either of them. Like I said, I haven't really enjoyed this map. But turning on the power, you have to turn on 2 generators with water. And then you have to go into a room that kind of reminds me of the generator in Jurassic Park. Go underwater. Make sure you don't drown as you unclog the drain. And then hit power. That was my biggest turnoff right there, was power being way too complicated. It's like transit with having to build the power. Also on it, just, it's hard to kind of keep track of where you're going. A cool feature to this, though, is the seeds and water. So there's element 115 water in 3 different colors. I think it's purple, blue, and green. And then you get seeds from killing zombies, so you plant the seeds, and then what you water them with is what you get. It is kind of randomized. I didn't get the full stuff of it down, but it's pretty cool, and it does also have my favorite Nikolai quote, which is, "Water with element 115 is not for drinking. Water with element 115 is not for drinking. Water with element 115 is not for drinking." It's my favorite quote in everything, in all of Zombies, just because it's so funny, because it implies that he wants to drink it. But yeah, Zetsubo, not my favorite. Next is Grodkrovi, which is a close second from Der Eisendrache. This takes place in an alternate reality where World War II never ended at Stalingrad. Stalingrad never ended. The Germans somehow found a way to bring back dragons. And as my friend said it, not the Russians, just Nikolai found a way to create a mech to fight the dragons. The introduction is with Ace of Spades by Motorhead. It's awesome. And it just basically sets up everything. So obviously, the mission of this is to kill Nikolai and get the last soul. So you do kill Nikolai at the end. I didn't get to do that. But just the setup of the map and everything is just really cool. It's basically kind of like 4 towers that you have to go through. The power tower, the middle tower, which has, that's where the mystery box spawns. You have to kind of look which side of the tower you have to go on. The supply depot and then the armory. You kind of have to use that. You get to ride a dragon to go to Pack-a-Punch. The wonder weapon is the ray gun Mark III, which is a black hole gun and a regular ray gun. That if you keep shooting the black hole, it gets bigger. And then like a funky missile launcher, which I don't know if it is a wonder weapon or not, but I didn't see it in anything else in the game. And then like being able to use the dragon in like scenarios to like light zombies up. You don't get to control it, but like just planning out and using it and everything is just great. The boss types on this is why it's not my favorite. It's a zombies game, but they have, I forgot what the zombie boss type is, but it's basically a mix between a Thrasher and a Panzer. I think it's called like a Soldat or something. I'm probably wrong. But it's cool. It's annoying. But then the other boss is called a Valkyrie, which is a drone. Which I just thought, I mean, it's cool to kind of like change things up, but also at the same time, it doesn't fit zombies for me. But altogether, the map is just so fun to play. And then lastly, we have Revelations, which is kind of a greatest hits map. So this mashes all the maps together. Basically, the premise of this is that the job is done, Agartha is perfect, but Maxis makes a mistake and unleashes the Shadow Man. And in that, you get the merger of basically all the maps that we've seen so far. There are a few missing. I believe Grod Krovi's not in there. I didn't remember seeing Zetsubo or Shadows of Evil. Five's not in there, but like you get like Nacht der Untoten, Kino der Toten, just a bunch of the best maps are thrown in there. Der Eisendrock's in there too. I don't think Moon is, but I know Origins is, and I know Mob of the Dead is. So it's like really cool. It's all this mashed together. And you have to basically defeat the Shadow Man once and for all. And then they get sent, realize that they're in a cycle and get sent back, which then leads to Black Ops 4, which we'll talk about eventually. But anyways, so the layout of the map, it's funky at first, but it gets really fun once you know where you are and what you're doing. I thought it was great. The Apothecon Servant comes back. The Thunder Gun comes back, if I remember right. It is like kind of a love letter to the fans, which I thought was a great way to end the game. And just a great way to play. The two original sections are inside the Apothecon, which I didn't get to do because I was playing alone, and it's very hard to do alone. And then the spawn area, which is basically Samantha's house, which is very fun and very cool. But yeah, this map and this game, I could see why it's peak zombies. Because this video is going on so long, we're going to do Zombie Chronicles separate. I feel like Zombie Chronicles is kind of its own game onto Black Ops 3. But I do want to talk about Nightmares really quick. I played a few levels on Nightmares. Thought it was terrible. Thought it was just a reskin of the campaign, which it was. And then decided never playing it again. But yeah, so now it's announcement time. So thank you for staying here if you did. So basically, playing these zombies games got me back into COD, fully back in. I ended up like getting Infinite Warfare and Advanced Warfare to review for you guys, and at that, I didn't realize Advanced Warfare's zombies did not come with the initial game. Played the campaign on that, and I played the campaign on Infinite Warfare to realize that I do love COD campaigns, and I want to talk about it with you guys. So I ended up getting literally almost all of Call of Duty, minus the first 3 games and the 2 Modern Warfare remakes. I'm only going to get the 2 Modern Warfare remakes out of that. I'm not going to count the first 3 games, but I want to review the campaigns with you guys in order. I'm currently working on the original Modern Warfare, so we will get probably 2 Call of Duty videos a month or so, because it's going to take longer to do all the other zombie stuff now, except for Cold War, because I got Cold War for free. But yeah, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that, because I'm excited to talk about that with you guys. Thank you for watching this video. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell, and follow me on all my social media down below. It's that Nerd Ryan, signing off.